How's your head, Whitney?
Hey, it's better today.
Is it?
Thankfully, yes.
So
No,
we're recording already.
we are. We will trim it before we post it online. We
Okay.
always start with, once we start, officially start the meeting, that's when the recording will be trimmed too.
Hey Whitney, can I do a mic check really quick? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Wonderful, thank you.
How are you, Missy?
I'm great.
Good. I'm gonna start sharing my screen, so. You guys can see that? Sweet.
Yep.
Amy, I don't know if you can hear me. You can. Um, for Maze, I finally put the virtual first. So we will lead with the virtual next time.
Yay.
Thank you. I'm sure that will be so much better. I know for me, then it means that I'll be able to pay attention to the in-person meetings because when they're scheduled the week of the virtual, I'm focused on this and making the slides, and I can't even make an attempt to attend the other ones. And we're going to try to publicize them locally a little more. I know we got questions from Chesterfield City Hall and from a few others, what we do to promote because the attendance is so light. So I'm going to look at a postcard again and some other things, get more people out there.
Can we go to Keener Plaza on opening day? We could see a lot of people there.
We could.
Maybe we focus on going to where people are instead of asking people to come to us.
Us. Yeah, well, one of the things that Maureen focused on for Maze was go to community centers where there's already events happening during that time, or if it's like a heavy traffic hour or something. So that'll help a little bit, but
How many people signed up for today?
I think I saw 40 something, but that includes all of us. I just resent the registrations to everyone who registered, and there was 40.
Good morning,
So-
everyone.
Hey, Trinice. So I'll wait till right at 10 on the dot and then admit everyone else, and we'll just go right into it. So, As soon-
You're missing Tim, right?
oh, we are missing Tim.
I was just texting him about something else. I
Thank
can
you for-
go check if he's
Yeah.
down there.
I
I don't know,
saw I saw him at his desk a few minutes ago.
Might
Oh,
have
I
been a
know.
Green Line project.
Okay, it's filling up now. Here comes Tim.
Good morning, all.
Hi, Tim.
So is anybody else on yet? Just us?
Just us.
Nobody yet. We have 7 people in the waiting room.
Okay. Colorado team looks like a jewel.
Yeah, they look pretty serious.
Good morning, Colorado team.
Good morning.
Okay, it's 10, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. We have 12 people in the waiting room now. So Chuck, as soon as I open it, I'll just say, welcome, everybody, and then you can go ahead and dive in whenever you want.
There we go.
All right.
Enter this meeting. You but meet with you will meet exchange screen, but please have more meet open share
Welcome,
comments.
everyone.
Button, open chat text options work open window
Please,
settings
if you can mute your microphones,
window audio settings
so
button
we can't hear your background noise.
All right, fantastic. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Metro Transit Community Connect. We're going to get a little detail about what Community Connect is all about in a minute, but I'm Chuck Stewart, Chief Operating Officer for Metro Transit. And I've got my team with me today, and they're going to update you on all of the fantastic things that are going on at Metro Transit at this time. Our agenda, we're going to start off with our welcomes, which we already have. I'm going to update you on some recent news and programs, and then other team members are going to update you on projects, construction, closure, service planning, accessibility, all the things that we need the community to be up to date on as we move forward in our efforts at Bi-State Metro to improve the service quality, customer service, which is our #1 commitment to this region.
Okay, so before we get started, just a few housekeeping items and reminders. We have a lot of great information to share with you today, just like Mr. Stewart said, and we want to get through all of it. So it's going to take a little bit of work on all of our parts to make sure we can do that. Throughout the presentation, you can leave questions in the chat room or wait until the end and raise your hand to speak. Use Alt-Y on Windows or Option-Y on a Mac as an alternative to clicking the raise hand feature on Zoom and to toggle your hand up and down. From a phone, use your *9 keys. We'll address as many of your questions as possible during the Q&A period at the end, but please be mindful of time and understand that we might need to move along if we're spending a little bit too much time on a specific question. So I'm Whitney Wilson, Director of Marketing at Bi-State Development. Wanted to give you just a little bit of background about Community Connect and what it is in case it's your first time joining us today. This February actually marks 1 full year of these quarterly series that we've been hosting. We started hosting them in May and will continue on a quarterly basis. So Community Connect is your platform to interact directly with our Metro Transit teams, hear about our latest updates, and influence the decisions that shape your daily commutes. Together, we explore the latest news, upcoming changes and strategies for a sustainable, efficient, and user-focused transit system. We know that you want better access to our teams and information, and we want the same. These events will continue to morph based on your needs, so we'll switch it up, dive into smaller spaces, larger venues, transit centers, community parks, really anywhere that we can get closer to the community. I just want to thank you because many of you on this call have given us feedback about where we should go and locations that work better for you and that matter most to you. And I think that you'll see that we'll continue to listen. We have, at the end of this presentation, we have our dates to remember for May 2025 Community Connect, where we've taken some of your suggestions into play. So just a reminder there too, that we'll always have the next Community Connect series and meetings on our webpage at metrostlouis.org/community. And there you can also request other information. So if you'd like to take a tour of our facilities, if you'd like someone to come speak to your group about all of the things we have going on here at Metro, field trips, and really just any inquiries, you can pop it into the form at the bottom of this page. Of course, call customer service anytime too, if that works better for you. All right, well, we're going to get right into it. I'll give it back to Mr. Stewart. Chuck, you're on mute. You look great, but we can't hear you.
I did that so I wouldn't interrupt you with me. So thank you very much. And I'm going to provide a little update on recent news and programs at Metro. As you know, we are continually focused on improving our service to the region, our customer service, the frequency and reliability of our transit system. So a couple of things I need to talk about before we get into other highlights about what's going on right now in Metro. You know, 2024 was a great year for us. We're back in terms of trips, in terms of service providers, ridership. We reached over 20.
What did you say?
We reached over 20 million passenger trips this past year, which is the highest since 2020. Welcomed over 285 operators and mechanics to our team. As you know, that's been a significant challenge for us, and we provided sign-on bonuses. We improved our benefits. We improved our wage scale. All the things that we needed to do to improve our staffing for our operations, and that has resulted in many improvements in our service. We highlighting Caller Ride today. There'll be more information about Caller Ride later, but a key measure for Caller Ride is the number of trip denials. And I think, as you've heard me many times over the last year or so, we've gone over the last 14 to 18 months from 45% denials to 0 for the last several months. And that is a key objective for us, to keep that number right there. We want people that call in, they need a ride from Caller Ride. We want to be able to provide that service. I've got many new Caller Ride operators. I'll talk about my staffing in a minute. Also, as a result of increasing the number of operators that we have, we've improved our bus service. We have been focused on frequency and reliability. At the last service change in December, we were also able to again increase frequency, over 34 increases in frequency over this past year. And we were able to restore evening service on 4 bus routes. We were also able to streamline bus routes so that what may have been a 2 transfer route would be just a 1 route now. So we're improving our service. We're making it quicker. We're making it more convenient, and we look forward to continuing that as we move forward. Next slide. This is kind of an overview of our workforce update. Our goal for bus operators was 650. We currently have 673 operators, which again allows us to improve service. Our Caller Ride operators, we've hired about 90 Caller Ride operators this year. We currently have 186. Again, that was necessary for us to improve the service in that area, and we are achieving that. We are still in need of mechanics. We're still in need of mechanics and electricians, and we're still offering our $5,000 sign-on bonus. I still need about 40 mechanics overall. We will continue to have our hiring events. We will make it known when those will be. You know a mechanic, you know somebody that would like to work for a fine organization like Metro, Bi-State, then make sure you send them our way. We're looking for mechanics. We will train, we will grow, we will develop, we will do the necessary things to attract and retain talent in all areas of Metro. Next slide. So we've got some new faces. You know, as we continue to improve our services and our customer service, we are continuing to improve the makeup of our staff, the experience and qualifications in terms of our team members and our leadership. I'd like to please join me in welcoming Lewis Lowry III, who is the General Manager of Paratransit, and Lakeisha Davis, who is the Assistant General Manager of Metro Bus. Lewis has over 30 years of transportation experience. He started with, well, his career began in Kansas City Area Transit Authority, where he managed mobility service contracts before being promoted to Chief Transportation Officer. Lewis also recently served as the transportation director for the Des Moines Area Regional Transit Authority. Lewis is going to be a key member of our Colorado team going forward. He will help us to continue the improvements that we are making in Colorado and help to lead us toward more efficient and effective service, not only for Colorado, but for microtransit, first mile, last mile kind of service, those kind of things. Lakeisha has spent more than 15 years in public service, most recently with the Broward County Transportation Department in Florida. She was responsible for a number of administrative duties, including contract administration, program budgeting and scheduling, recruitment and training, before being promoted to the Director of Operations Control Center at Broward County. She again is our Assistant General Manager for Metro Bus and will be very instrumental in taking our Metro Bus management team to the next level in terms of service and communication. So please, congratulations, Lewis and Lakeisha. Please join me in welcoming them to the Bi-State team. All right. So, we have the next slide concerns a website. This is before we get into talking about projects and where we stand on new projects. We got a lot of exciting things going on at Bi-State, a lot of stuff coming. We're going to talk about all of those in detail. I've got various members of the team that will be updating you on these projects, but I just wanted to make you aware of this website, metrostlouis.org projects, where you can go and you can find out more about the things we're doing in terms of projects at Metro. So what's next? All right, project updates. I think we're going to get an update from Missy Webb from a security standpoint, secure platform.
Good morning, everyone. So I'd like to talk a little bit about our phenomenal secure platform plan and all the updates that are going on surrounding that project. So we're taking our system from an open system to a closed system. We've made lots of progress in our project, with package 1 being completed on the east side. Emerson Park, Jackie Joyner Kersey Center, Washington Park, and College have been completed. Package number 2 is currently in progress. However, we made great strides there also, with the last openings Friday, which was Union Station and Civic Center. So we currently have Cortex, Delmar, Union Station, and Civic Center open and active in package 2. We're excited to announce that Central West End and Forest Park to Bolivar should be going live by the end of this month, leaving only one stop remaining in package 2, which will be our grand location. Package number 3 is currently out to bid, so we're very excited for that progress to be shown. Next slide, please, Whitney. These are some of the examples of our gating systems that have been in place and are now currently live. This is Delmar, Civic Center, and Union Station. As you can see from these slides, what's a little different is that when you come to our gating system, you will be met by one of our transit security specialists. So what I would like for everybody to do is that when you do arrive, please get to know those transit security specialists. They're there to help you and assist you in any way. Next slide. The secure platform plan is built upon the real-time camera center. So while we see all of these landscape changes with the secure platform plan, with our fencing, with our gating systems, but what we don't talk about often is the real-time camera center. The real-time camera center, in effect, has increased its views because of the secure platform plan. So on those gating system pictures that we previously saw on the other slide, you'll note that there are several cameras that have been added to each of our platforms. That real-time camera center is actively being viewed around the clock. And we love to show people how we are monitoring the systems, and we offer tours at any time. And my contact is on this current slide. So if anybody would love to come in, we would love to have you come in and learn more about what we do at the Real-Time Camera Center. I can tell you that I just did our current numbers of visitors, and we're well over 1,700 visitors to the Real-Time Camera Center. Next slide. While we're doing all these amazing security enhancements with our secure platform plan, with having our transit security specialists out at those gating systems, increasing those views and monitoring the real-time camera center, the biggest thing that we need to let our transit community know is that when you see something on our alignment, it's so necessary for you to let us know. So see something, say something is everywhere. There are campaign plaques on all of our transit, our LRVs, our caller rides, our buses, on the platforms. But there are two very important numbers there that I would like for everyone to take down, and I'm going to repeat them to you right now. If you're not comfortable and you see something on our system, you can call us. That phone number will go straight to the Real-Time Camera Center, and it is 314-289, 6873. The other available resource here is to be able to text. So we understand that sometimes you're in close proximity to individuals, and maybe you don't want to be on the telephone with one of our Real-Time Camera Center dispatchers. So we've provided a texting opportunity and availability, and that number is 314-300-0188. So if you see anything, it's so necessary for you to say something so that we can get in there and we can do what it is that we need to do. But it takes all of us to make this system secure, and we appreciate each and every one of you.
Go ahead, Missy. Oh, okay. Just the last note that you can visit our rideonmetro.org website to get monthly updates. They're published there regularly. And we also feature those on the Metro Secure Platform Plan blog. All right, up next is Tim Nittler, our Senior Director of Capital Projects, to give you an update on what's going on with construction around the system.
Good morning, everybody. I'll start with Convention Center. That station is currently closed, and we have a bypass in place for Metro operations. The project involves removing the old escalator system that was initially installed under the original construction, and then constructing new staircases back in place. We are looking for that project to wrap up later this spring. Construction has started as of the first of the year, and we're predicting a spring opening for those new improvements. Another project that is just recently underway as of the first part of January is the Union Station Tunnel rehabilitation. So that project requires evening single tracking through the limits of the tunnel. We don't have those single tracks in place yet, but they will be starting up in the near future once the contractor gets additional task mobilized. The construction is expected to take 3 years, so we're trying to minimize impacts to the operations as much as we can, but we are going to see impacts based on the construction that we're doing, and that construction entails building new tunnel walls on each side of our track, and then we'll be filling the tunnel adjacent outside of those new walls to better secure the old tunnel and make it less maintenance in the long run for us. So that's the purpose of that project. And go ahead, Whitney. I've got a few projects I wanted to highlight coming up. All these projects are in either in final design or in our procurement division. So don't have a current start date on any of them, but they will be coming up most likely this year. So the first I wanted to touch on is we're going to reconstruct the bus loop pavement at JJK, and we're also going to remove the existing platform pavement surface and put a new surface on. So that will basically revamp that entire station, and we will have to close the station for a period of time. But once again, we're looking at ways to minimize that closure. Second, the 79th Street retaining wall. We have plans in place to reconstruct the retaining wall system at that location. That one will move forward yet this year, hopefully this spring. Washington Park parking lot. That is a rehabilitation of the parking lot system that is at Washington Park, similar to what we've done at other Illinois locations such as Emerson Park, Fifth Missouri, Belleville, and a couple others in the past few years. And then last but not least, we do have a couple different bus stop improvement projects. One is a fairly minor project with 4 locations. And then we've got a second one under environmental review that we hope to get moving later this year as well. And that one contained about 30 different locations for bus stop improvements. And on to Missouri upcoming projects. We've got a project that adds track improvements both at Parkway, which is just to the west of the Forest Park to Bolivar Station. Also, we'll be adding a siding track out near Richmond Heights. Both of those projects will require some track time and some weekend shuttles to keep our contractor busy creating those improvements. Also, at the same time, we'll be doing a rehabilitation of the Des Peres pedestrian bridge over our alignment near Forest Park Parkway. And then also bus stop improvements. We've got a list of approximately 120 locations that we're working on to get environmental approval to improve bus stops. Some are as simple as replacing concrete sidewalks, some are adding shelters, some are adding benches, just a mixed bag of different improvements there.
Thanks, Tim. And now Jessica Gershman, our Assistant Executive Director of Service Planning, will give an update on our service and long-range planning.
There, coming off mute. Thanks. So on the heels of what was a fairly big service change that we implemented on December 2nd, we are now in the planning and implementation phase for the next upcoming quarterly change, which will be Monday, March 17th. We will be making adjustments to 15 or 16 bus routes in Missouri and Illinois. And a lot of this is, we like to say, after a larger change, it takes 2 or 3 service changes afterwards to make sure that all of the connections are working smoothly and that we've addressed all of the sort of minor adjustments that need to occur. And so that's what we're doing here. We're kind of going through and making sure everything is tight and is meeting customer needs. So, you know, there will be some minor route modifications, and a lot of this has to do with changing basically schedules to make sure connections are good and that we have enough running time that we can adhere to the posted schedule for our customers and our operators. Next slide, please. Of those 15 or so, I just like to highlight a few here. We will have more information posted. There's I guess a blog entry up on the website that has all of the routes that'll be addressed. And, but these I like to highlight for different reasons. It helps show how we make the decisions about the choices that, about the changes that we make. So for the 40 Broadway in the city of St. Louis, we, our planning team went out and monitored the sort of performance of that route and saw that with a lot of construction that's happening in the corridor, that really was having trouble keeping its posted time. And so we are doing some, creative scheduling things on the back end, to make sure that the schedule is adjusted and, there is enough time, for our operators to run safely and for our customers to make their connections at Riverview and downtown. So that's an example of planning doing an assessment. The 58 Clayton Chesterfield is a great example in St. Louis County of an operator when we get feedback from them a couple weeks after the service change in December that said, hey, look, this route's a problem. We get really stuck and mired in traffic on Highway 4064 in the afternoon. What can you do for me? And so us going and examining, again, creative service planning and scheduling solutions that can help us to improve that route and keep it on time. And lastly, the number 15, Belleville Shiloh in St. Clair County. This is an example of customer feedback that said, look, we changed this route a little to serve a new destination, but we're missing an old connection. And so we worked with St. Clair County Transit District and came up with a slightly amended routing solution that helps meet that customer need. So again, just different ways in which various feedback and analysis helps us in that quarterly service change. Next slide, please. And this should just be a reminder of how you can get information about upcoming service changes, this and the ones in the future, and to keep that feedback loop coming. So metrostlewis.org/upcoming schedule changes. There will be more details 2 weeks in advance about what the posted schedules will look like because we're developing them now. And then a week in advance, you will be able to see that in the transit app. And so you can begin to plan your trip ahead. Meanwhile, you can always call Metro customer service or text at the numbers on the screen. I will say them out loud as well. They can help you with trip planning and giving you a sense of what's to come. So Metro customer service, you can call at 314-231-2345, or you can text at 314-207-9786. And I would also just a little reminder that if you are continuing to see rider alerts at your bus stop because of the larger scale of change that we made in December, thank you for your patience as we redo those bus stops and get everything cleaned up there. Continue to use your bus stop ID number as your source of information. So if you're trying to find out, if you're making sure you're standing at the right spot and you're matching it to what you see in the transit app or Google Maps, go ahead and make sure you're using that bus stop ID number. Concurrent to the implementing the December change for fixed route, we also, as of January 5th, made some efficiency changes to our Via Metro STL service, which is microtransit in St. Louis County. We were really looking to respond to one of the chief complaints that we have been getting about Via, which was ride availability and reliability of the service. And so because we've been able to, as Mr. Stewart shared earlier, add back and restore a lot of bus service, and enabled us to offset the service we were providing in different geographies and tighten up where we are putting microtransit. So the zone that you see on the screen here shares that what had formerly been an evening only zone further south in the county, we were able to remove that because we put a lot of great bus service back in that area. And so now we can pour those resources for microtransit back into a more focused zone. That is improving the performance quality even over in the few short weeks that we've had since the change. Higher productivity of our rides, so and better availability. Sort of the measure for us is if you can book a ride on demand when you need it to, and that number has gone up by 5 to 7% from week to week. So that's been great. Another change that's significant to note here that maybe requires some adjustments for some folks is we have a new distance limitation where you have a 7-mile distance limit to your trip. Again, that's in a way for us to make sure we are utilizing the via hours that we have to the best of our ability and making sure that we are improving the rider experience as opposed to really long trips that have a long sort of deadhead where the VIA van is not carrying a passenger. That eats away at the efficiency of the service we can provide. So we're continuing to improve reliability on that front. The next slide highlights that we have a new VIA app. It's been in place since November. If you haven't ridden with us, when you open the old one, it's going to tell you to download the new app. And then also, this is not on the slide, but we've newly rolled out some ride bundles so that you'll see those in the new app as well, where we basically, you can get a small discount for purchasing a bundle of a package of rides. So those are both new options that you will see in the new VIA app. I believe I just wanted to give a quick preview of some things that you'll be seeing from planning out on the system in the coming months going into 2025. The first item here is about an onboard transit travel survey. We haven't conducted one of these in a few years, and this is basically an opportunity for you to share with a surveyor, if you interact with them on the system while you're riding, about where you started your trip, where you're going, how you paid for your fare, what the purpose of your trip is, and how you utilize our system. This data is tremendously useful to us in making sure that we are modifying and tailoring our service to where people want to go. And so we encourage you, if you are approached by a friendly surveyor with a tablet sometime in March or April this spring, to go ahead and take a couple minutes while you're riding and let them know about how you use transit. That would be really great for us. Next, we are taking a look at our Lyft program, and there will be more to come on this front, but we are making sure that we are treating this program with the intentionality and making sure we are serving folks the best we can to extend the reach of our fixed route program. And lastly, the Green Line is a project that Tim also mentioned, but there will be more community engagement opportunities coming up in the spring and summer of this year after we move past a 30% design marker, and there's more environmental documentation to review. So look for more dates on that project in the future. And I believe that's it from me. Whitney, yes.
Yes, thank you, Jess. Now we will kick it over to our great Caller Ride team that you can see all huddled together over there at Central Facility. So we have Lewis Lowry and Lisa Cagle and team.
Yes, so good morning to everyone. And I think I want to first start with thanking Chuck for the introduction. I'm certainly excited about this opportunity to join the folks here at Metro and Caller Ride. You know, this is such a fabulous organization, and I know that there's been a lot that goes on in the world of paratransit services, but you know, this opportunity certainly presents for me the chance to hopefully, you know, do things differently, do things better, so that we can gain a lot of goodwill with the customers that we service. In addition, I want to also thank Trinice Winters for this opportunity as well. You know, our collaboration for the 2 months that I have been here has been great. And she certainly has shared a lot of good information with me about opportunities, again, to just continue to search forward with good things for our customers. And so, yes, I'm joined by a fabulous team here. I have Allison, who's our analyst. She's to my right. We have Lisa, who is our assistant general manager here. And then I also have Sean, who is our director of transportation. And you know, these folks work very hard to ensure that we deliver the best service to our Caller Ride customers. So as you can see on the screen, we've got some numbers, right? We got our on-time performance numbers, and then we have our ADAL denials and the percentage of requests. So I'm going to start with the bottom numbers because it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of where we're at. And I'm happy to report that through the good work that this team has been doing, along with ADA Services and you know, Amy and her group, we've managed to get our denials to 0. So I think that's worth applauding because, you know, it's come a long ways, and certainly, again, the work that's been done by this team is to be commended. When you look at our on-time performance numbers, going back to the top, you'll note that there's a couple of months where we have some asterisks. Starting with December, we've made some adjustments to our way in which we calculate our on-time performance. Much of that had to do with some time that was built into how we calculated on-time performance, and with that, we decided that it's best to make sure that we utilize the true definition of the 30-minute window as opposed to building a tolerance into that number. And so therefore, what you're seeing there is a more appropriate number for on-time performance. Based on my experience at other transit agencies, 97% is not a bad number, especially when you look at December, and January's number is pretty much reflective, you know, a number of things, transition to a new software program, but also the snowmageddon that we had. And so a lot going on, but again, that number again speaks to the fact that we got work to do, and we're going to continue to work towards getting those numbers closer to 90, 91, 92%. Next slide, please. Okay, so on this slide, again, it reflects where we're at with our denial capacity. And again, you can see it dating back to July of 2024, or actually June of 2024. We have been at 0, so that's certainly a great thing. With regard to our trip growth, we are certainly experiencing a lot in terms of our weekday totals. And though the numbers will show on the screen that it appears that, you know, well, we've kind of plateaued and then taken a dive, you know, October is always a month that's going to be high at any transit agency. And that's because it's kind of like that last opportunity for folks that are using the service to say, it's beautiful weather outside and I'm going to take advantage of it. And plus you have 31 days in that month, so you're going to see a higher number. The numbers for November and December are pretty much reflective of the holiday season. And typically, you know, not as many people are going out, and the colder weather is starting to set in. And then January, again, with the snow that hit and the fact that we had to make some adjustments with service delivery for both fixed and for paratransit and rail as well. We had to make some adjustments for the safety of our customers, and so therefore, that's the reasons why the numbers are lower. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, thank you. All right, so here, again, this is just an updated status as to what we've been doing with our new scheduling and software program that we've implemented. As you can see, as of I believe the 12th of January, actually we went live and implemented Spare, and so we've been working out of that new software platform. We've learned a lot about the platform. It's been doing some great things for us, but there's also, with anything, comes the tweaks and the fine tuning that we have to engage in. And so we've been doing that to ensure that from our operators that they understand how to you know, utilize the tablet and to make sure that they're pressing the right buttons to confirm their trips. And then from a dispatching you know, command center approach, making sure that they are watching the service and monitoring it accordingly. So but again, you know, with the new system comes still those things of how do we undo some of the knowledge that we have with our legacy systems and implement the new ideas and concepts that come with the new programs. Soon to come your way, especially to our customers, and I'm pretty excited about this, is the automatic trip notification to those that utilize Call a Ride. You know, nothing works better than to have a system be able to communicate to our users that the vehicle is coming. You know, these are great enhancements that the Colorado and Metro has added. And I'm sure that our customers will really grow to appreciate this as this has already been rolled out, but it will continue to be rolled out to those that subscribe. Next slide, please. And I'm going to stop here and I'm going to have Lisa talk about this particular slide because she knows more about this than I do.
Thanks, Louis. So yeah, as Mr. Lowry mentioned, we rolled out the automatic trip reminders a little bit early. We thought that we were going to launch them in February, but we actually started them in January. So several of our Colorado customers are already getting automatic trip reminders either via text or an automated phone call. And just as a reminder, those reminders will come from this number, 314-557-2201. So we recommend our Colorado customers writing that number down, saving it in your phone. So if you get a notification for them, you know it's from us and you don't have to worry about who's texting you or calling you. It is actually our system calling you. So, and the two notifications that are coming out right now, there is one that comes about an hour before your scheduled Colorado trip. We had played around with different notifications, so you might have received others in the past, but right now what we have is there's a notification that comes about an hour before your scheduled Colorado trip to say, hey, your ride's coming in about an hour. So you might get a text or a call depending on which one you've decided you want. And then the other one is when your Colorado vehicle arrives. So as Louis was saying, hey, instead of having to get a courtesy call to let you know that your trip is arriving, you actually can get an automated text or an automated phone call or an email if you prefer, telling you, hey, your vehicle's arriving. Similar as you would to maybe a Lyft or an Uber or a taxi that would also give you that kind of notification. So the big picture thing here is that you can choose to get these reminders either by text or SMS, right, on your smartphone or your cell phone, an automated phone call that can go to your cell phone or to any landline, or by email. And so what we need to know from you is, which do you prefer? Do you want it to be text? Do you want it to be an automated phone call or an email? And so the best way to let us know what you prefer is to either email us at Colorado Customer Service, so that's CAR Customer Service at metrostlouis.org, or you can call us at 314-982-1505, option 3, to confirm your best contact information and your preferred way of receiving the notifications. So now this is like the first step toward the app and online booking and all of that, but the notifications are something that anybody can get, or if you don't want them, you can tell us and we can turn it off on your profile as well. So that's the best way to let us know what you need. Next slide, please. So beyond the notifications and the internal launch of the software, right now, what we're doing is the early launch of the app with early adopters, so that if you helped us test the app in the past, or if you've been using eFare regularly, you're probably going to receive a contact from us in the next week or so, trying to get you set up. So as we are doing this project, everything about Spare, we're trying to do it in phases, right? We want to make sure that as we roll it out, that each phase is correcting any kind of issues that might have, that we are, debugging the system as it goes along, so that those kinds of things impact as few people as possible. So the sort of launch with the early adopters is happening. Like I said, you'll probably get contacted from us next week. And as we go through that process, the next phase is rolling it out to more people. The exciting thing is also coming up soon. Right now, I think people are using eFare to pay with credit cards if they want to, but we actually are going to have a process in the app or through your profile that you can add a credit or a debit card. That'll be coming up in March, so look for more information about that. And then, of course, the next phase rollout of the app. Again, making sure that we're debugging the process along the way, and so it's as smooth as possible for everyone. So look for more information about that. Next slide, please. And then this is back to Louis to talk about the future.
Yeah, so, as we look ahead and, it's always about, what can we do to get better? What can we do to ensure that we're communicating to the end users of the product that we deliver. And so, you know, our commitment as a team and certainly as a company is to ensure that we keep our end users in the know. And so we're going to be making updates to the Rider Guide in order to, you know, communicate everything that you need to know to be successful in using this service, and to also, you know, hold us accountable for making sure that we deliver on that service. So we're going to be certainly making that update. And then at some point, we'll be relaunching subscription trips. And you know, we'll certainly give out notification about when that's going to come. But again, it's just a matter of we want to methodically work through this so that everything goes without a hitch. And that's our goal with this. Let me also add that I know that you know, as this service being very critical and important to the community, you know, this team here is all about service to those of you that do use this. So the advocacy groups that are present on this call, we want you to know that we're here to answer your questions, to support you. And it is my goal to get out and get to know you so that as we continue to work together, it's all about understanding this service that we're delivering. And let it be known that you know, sometimes it's going to be that conversation that we may not always be able to get to the right solution right away, but it's about putting it on the table, and it's about having that honest discussion about, you know, what else can be done. And so, you know, I'm looking forward to that opportunity. And again, I want to thank both Chuck and Trinice for this opportunity to join Metro by State.
Thank you so much, ColorEye team. Now we will hand it over to Amy Parker, our Director of ADA Services.
Good morning, everyone. Gosh, there's been lots of information. I turned my slides in before I saw the rest of the slides. So I think Lewis gets the award for most photos in a Community Connect picture, because I was going to first start talking about what's going on with our ADA consultant, Jess Segovia, the ADA guru. And Jess was here a week or two ago, and there's a nice picture on the screen with Jess wearing his little ADA guru vest and Lewis. And this was taken during or after one of our ADA compliance and sensitivity training sessions. So I was excited about this because Jess came and we had over 80 transit service managers, people from bus operations control, ColorEye dispatchers, ColorEye reservationists, Metrolink operators, general managers, sitting down having half-day sessions about ADA compliance and sensitivity training. So that was really exciting. That's one of the things Jess has been helping us with. He's been helping us to review our policies, making recommendations to enhance both accessibility and usability efforts of our service, because we know there's accessibility and there's also things that we can do to make our system more usable for our customers with disabilities. And again, one of the things that Jess is also helping us with is some ideas for some updated rider guides and a little bit of reorganization of that, because we can always improve our communication with each other. Next slide, please. Another topic I wanted to talk about was our St. Louis Metro Transit Accessibility Advisory Committee. I talked about this, I think, at our last Community Connect. This is rolling. We have 15 community members who meet every other month. They have established their leadership. They have established bylaws. As I said, they'll meet 6 times per year. You're welcome to attend those meetings, either in person or virtually, and you can find out all kinds of things about the committee. You can find out who is on the committee. You can see the agendas, the minutes, at metrostlewis.org/ADA committee. So that's where to get some information there. They have great ideas, and I'm really looking forward to what they do to help us. Next slide. And then my last thing is I always like to remind people what is the Transit Access Center. So that is part of ADA services. It is the place that you can establish eligibility for Call-A-Ride if you have a disability that prevents you from using Metro Bus or Metrolink for some or all of your trips. It's a place where you can get a disability-based reduced fare ID if you have a disability, receive Medicare, and you are able to use the bus and the train for your trips and you would like to pay half fare. It's also the place where you can learn and get hooked up with our travel training team. Our travel trainers work with people with disabilities and seniors who are interested in using our services. They can learn, they can help you learn a specific route on Metro Bus, Metrolink, via Metro St. Louis, or they can help you plan trips, use all of our great tools like Transit app, any of those things to plan your trips. You can contact us at adaservices@metrostlewis.org, or you can always give us a call at 314-982-1510. And that's my update for today.
Wonderful. Thank you, Amy. We do see your questions in the chat and in the Q&A section, and we'll dive right into those in just a moment. But before we get into that, I just have a few dates up on the screen that are coming up. Every year, we like to celebrate all of our Metro Transit team members every day. We celebrate them every day. But Transit Worker Appreciation Day is March 18th. And internally, our leadership does a great job of celebrating and recognizing our team members. But I just want you to be on the lookout for some communications that we'll be having on our social media channels, on our website, in our Metro on the Move newsletter about ways that you can extend your appreciation for all of the team members who provide our services for you. So just be on the lookout, mark it in your calendar. And then as promised, we do have the May 2025 Community Connect meetings already scheduled. We'll do something a little bit different this next time. We're going to lead with the virtual meeting. So this meeting today is at the end of a week of 3 or 4 in-person meetings, but next time in May, we're going to start with the virtual. So you'll get your virtual update first, and then you can join us at all of the community events. So that virtual is Friday, May 2nd. It will be at 2 p.m. We will have the links so that you can pre-register just like you did for today up on our webpage, metrostlouis.org/community, and it'll be going out on all of our channels too. Then we're going to start with the Mary Brown Center in East St. Louis, Illinois. That will be on Monday, May 5th at 1 p.m. The very next day, we'll be at the YMCA downtown at the MX. It's just a block away from our headquarters building here. That'll be Tuesday, May 6th at 11 a.m. And then we'll head to Sunset Hills Community Center. We've heard that we need some more South County meetings. So we'll be at Sunset Hills Thursday, May 8th at 4 p.m. Again, just those dates to remember. They'll be posted everywhere, so you can't forget them. All right. We are going to launch into our Q&A. So let's see what questions we have going. Tracy, you want to give us our first one?
Good morning, everybody. This is Tracy Bauer from ADA Services. I'm actually going to start. We have 3 comments that I'll go ahead and read off, and then we have 3 kind of major questions that we'll read off as well. I'm happy to read your questions out loud if you want to put them in the chat as we're going along. However, we're always happy to hear directly from you, your voices. So if you are able to use the raise your hand function, please go ahead and do that. Whitney is going to go ahead and monitor that and let us know when somebody has their hand raised. And if you aren't able to do that, you know that we're doing the 3 comments and the 3 questions. And after that, feel free to unmute and just speak up. Okay, so the first comment that we have here from Mark Detjian: I am happy to see Metro hiring new people who have had careers at other transit systems and who can bring new insights and ideas. And then JMO says, given the 19,000 ADA trip denials in February of 2023, that drop is remarkable, even though part of it was accomplished by shrinking your service area. And she also comments, thank you for your gracious invitation to dialogue, Mr. Lowry. Our first question is going to be answered by Trinice Winters. And the question is, what can be done to address the construction of Market Street that impacts the 94 on the westbound route, stop 5319 specifically?
Good morning. So I just spoke with my team about this. Initially, we put up temporary stops on the fence and the construction and the fences along the construction, and the construction workers took our stops down. So they are in the process of bringing out temporary poles to repost those stops along Market. So later today, we should have stops posted.
All right. Thank you, Trinice. And then this next question is going to be for Ted Zimmerman, our VP of Marketing and Communications. And the question is regarding the new security gates. I currently use a UPass for WashU. I know we aren't able to scan these passes on those gates. When will that be fixed?
So first of all, thank you for using your Washington University UPass. That is a long time customer that we've had and partner within our UPass program. And so we're always excited to hear the questions from y'all. And so we actually just met with the UPass team from Washington University talking about the upcoming contract, how the current contract is working. And so we're seeing some good numbers out of Washington University as far as UPass usage. And actually gaining those passes. With the new program, as far as with the fare gates and everything, as those go live, we'll make sure that the new UPasses that you guys receive on an annual basis or on a semester basis, those are a part of the conversation right now to make sure that as we transition, that you're able to safely transition with us to open those gates. So while those dates have not been given to us yet, we'll make sure that you guys are included in the entire conversation as we walk through that. So I hope that helps to answer the question.
Okay. Another person has a comment that they were concerned about the gateway card working at the terminals.
So again, a part of our entire transition will be to move those gateway cards over to new devices as well. So we have those contact pieces in there as well. And from a marketing communications perspective, as our fare collection team moves forward, we'll be contacting those individuals with gateway cards as far as making those transitions as well. But I just don't have a date yet as far as when those will be happening, but they'll be coming.
Thank you, Ted. Okay, and this next question may be for Mr. Stewart or Mr. Gully. So this is a question from Amy Whittier. I am a regular rider of the Blue Line and want more information on what is going on with the single tracking and when we can expect this issue to be fixed. Specific questions and comments I have include, when was the last time you ran at full capacity with no problems? Why are you not running more red lines to address this inconvenience for your riders? The red lines are packed and, to be honest, seem very unsafe now. I have photos to prove how crowded these lines are and that no additional security is visible on them. And 3, why can't you turn blue trains at Emerson Park?
So this is Chuck Stewart. You want to tackle that first, Martin, or you want me to?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. This is Martin Gully. The last time we ran at full capacity was prior to COVID, which was early 2020 when we were running 21 trains. Currently, we're running 16 trains at this particular time. we're turning blue trains, and we expect to continue to turn blue trains at 6 p.m. every night due to construction projects on our alignment. We're not able to run the Blue Line train to Fairview Heights during the construction period because we wouldn't be able to maintain a schedule if we ran all the way to Fairview Heights in the core area. And one thing to note is buses are timed between Fairview Heights and Forest Park. Even if a customer gets off at Forest Park, they're able to make bus connections between Fairview Heights and Forest Park because bus connections are made off the red line schedule. We now have a situation where we're actually turning Blue Line trains earlier in the all day long because of the situation we have at 79th Street. We're working to address that to see if we can actually extend our Blue Line service to Emerson Park. But even with that, we do anticipate turning Blue Line trains at 6 p.m. because of construction activities that we must do to ensure that our system is safe.
So I'd like to give a more general kind of response to that, and it really involves maintenance, it involves safety, it involves improvement. We have to maintain our track system. There are things that we have to do, just like when you have highway construction, there's some inconvenience, and then you see situations where people have these signs, watch our progress. Well, this is part of progress. This is part of doing things better. We have some issues with safety. We have some issues with repair and maintenance, and we're going to always have those. And we're trying to be as understanding of customer needs as possible, accommodating those needs. We are fully aware of the inconvenience that some of these things might be causing. As a matter of fact, we have a meeting scheduled for Monday. Mr. Roach said, hey, I want you guys in my office. We need to figure out how to do this better. So we are always trying to do things better, and we will, as we improve our systems, we will try to make it as convenient as possible for our customers. We understand that some of these situations are inconvenient. We hope that you will understand that our objective is to make things better overall.
Amy Whittier, you have your hand raised. Would you like to go ahead and speak?
I do. It's not just about inconvenience, it's also about safety. The red lines are not safe right now in the evening specifically. I have photos to prove it. They're packed. There's not more security on these red lines. I've seen fights break out at the Forest Park station. And also I have a question that you did not answer. If you're doing the single tracking, the blue line, I understand you have to do that for whatever reason you just said. Why can't more red lines be running at this point?
Chuck, I can speak to that if you would like.
Please.
Yeah. Again, this is Martin Gully. If we ran more red line trains, we wouldn't be able to maintain a schedule, particularly we wouldn't be able to maintain a schedule. Adding trains, we actually have to take out trains because we only have a single track to operate on from point. I mean, just use point A to point B. We added trains, we would have cascading delays of our service, and we wouldn't be able to maintain the schedule. Because currently, like right now, yesterday, we ran all of our trains through the limits of a single track. And based on the schedule our scheduling department gave us, we only had one late train for 5 minutes. And we count late trains if it's 5 minutes or more late, but we only had one late train. We added red lines. We would not be able to maintain a schedule. And we know that our customers are it's an inconvenience running the single track, but we also want to ensure that we run according to a schedule. And I hope
I think I'd appreciate someone to address the safety issue and the fact that we're not seeing more security. And you can see that all over your social media comments that no one's responding to.
So that is noted. I heard that. We've got Missy Webb on with us from Public Safety, and we will certainly take that back to the Public Safety team and see what kind of action we can get on.
Yeah, and just so you're clear, you mentioned your relationship with WashU as a long-term client. I'm a WashU employee. We have several WashU employees that are dealing with the same issues. So just want you to be clear that this is something that our leadership is aware of and that they're looking into. You know, they're strongly encouraging us to use the Metro, but if things like this they're going to continue to happen, I'm not sure that that's the best option for us.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Cook, would you like to go ahead and speak? You had your hand raised.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Could everyone hear me? I'm kind of stuffed with a cold. I got sick at work from the little one. So hopefully you guys can hear me. But I was a little bit concerned also with, so I go over to the Civic Center a lot because it's pretty much closer to the convention center. So I take the shuttle that goes over to Civic Center. I've been noticing, and I want to applaud you guys for taking care of the security situation there at that location, because that location has had a lot of activities with a lot of homeless individuals, a lot of individuals with health and mental issues. I did see Chestnut out. I would say, so today is Friday. I would say they were there, I'm thinking on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I want to commend you guys on that, and that I see that that is being changed. And I'm hoping that it continues. Okay. That's what I think is very, very important for us to become repetitious with this. If we're going to make changes, be repetitious with that. My next concern is I'm noticing that there are a lot of individuals who are coming to the Civic Center, and because that is a waiting area that they can wait indoors, you know, because of the weather or what have you, waiting on their bus to pull off. A lot of individuals, I guess you could say that. I don't know. It's just I'm just seeing a difference for us, the appearance and so on. So I don't know if these are homeless people or just men who are, you know, I hate to say it, but it looks like, I don't know, men who getting out of jail or what, or people who just don't have anywhere to go. I don't know. What I would like to see is that being taken care of as well, so we won't feel intimidated when we're waiting in those waiting areas. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
So also, I wanted, my last concern would be, is there a way we can consider, that you guys can consider St. Louis Metro waiting areas like at the Emerson Park and other areas? The waiting areas can be placed on the platforms, or I don't know, somehow redesigned on the metro station. Is there a way we can look into that as well?
So we'll certainly take all of those, your comments into consideration. I think some of them are addressed to our public safety team. And I think they are doing an excellent job of trying to provide the best safety situation that they can. But we can always improve, and we will certainly take your comments into consideration and see what we can do to make changes.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And a lot of my concerns have been sent to Lisa Cagle and Natalie. So I've been communicating with them on the ongoing as well. And again, I apologize for my voice. I'm sick. That's why I'm at home. And thank you. And again, I commend you guys for what's going on. Like I said, I seen Chestnut this week, which is I don't know if it's called Chestnut Mental and Health. I don't know. But I did see them out. So I commend you guys with that as well. And thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That means a lot to us.
Thank you for your feedback and your questions, and we hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a question for the Caller-ID team. This is from Robin Whalen. Missouri Council of the Blind has been contacted by several members who have now been late to work on Call a Ride, 3 of whom work in an unsupported employment and who have received write-ups from their jobs. How is this being addressed? We have asked them to file reports with Metro.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing this with us. And, you know, one of the things that is always a challenge is, you know, how do we ensure that we get people to their jobs on time? I think I know that that's important, and that's something that we have to make sure that we address. I would certainly encourage that if there's any service concerns that a customer experience, that they do file a report with us so that we can do an in-depth review of it. But I will tell you this, and that is we are seeing an explosion with the number of trips that is taking place during what I call our peak time. So it's a time when everybody wants to be someplace at the same time. And typically that's when people are going into work. We are monitoring that, but more importantly, we're already having a discussion on how we can handle that volume. And so while this is not a good thing, and I don't have an immediate answer for how we're gonna you know, fix this right away, we are looking at that, and you should see some improvement as we come up with solutions to hopefully increase our opportunities to handle more capacity so that we can get people to work on time.
All right. Thank you very much. There is a question in the Q&A, and I believe this will probably be for Jessica Gershman. Jordan Wilson wants to know, what about the current service change of Metro Bus and the planning of the Metrolink Green Line?
What about the current service plan? So the March 17th, we did quickly review, there's going to be 15 or 16 bus routes in Missouri and Illinois that will be adjusted to improve scheduled connections, maybe some minor route modifications. Those are available on the Metro blog, sort of gives a high level of the routes that will be there. And then the Green Line, yeah, the preview that we were giving today was just that we are deep in 30% design work, and there will be more opportunities for community engagement in the spring and summer of 2025. So we'll have more to share, and we'll actively be seeking more public participation and feedback on those documents in the coming months. If there's more specific question, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you. All right, there is one more positive comment regarding Community Connects for Whitney and her team. Yes, thank you for coming to Chesterfield and for going to South County. Please continue covering the entire region with Community Connects. And there was also another thank you for having the Community Connect at West County meeting in Chesterfield. Does anyone have any more questions? Comments?
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, we look forward to seeing you in May, but until then, you can find all of the updates to our projects at metrostlouis.org/projects, and keep in touch with us on our socials and call us anytime. Our customer service team is open and ready to take your call. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
All right, thank you.